SSSS. The eerie yellow pupil of the second eye shimmered with a strange light. In an instant, Xiao Yan could feel its overwhelming intent targeting him as he charged forward with boundless battle spirit. The three-eyed ghost pupil was exceptionally sinister. From the second eye came an unsettling sound that subtly disrupted the surroundings. After sensing that Xiao Yan would not be easily subdued, it began to release a yellow halo. Yet the entire space was bathed in the milky white glow radiating from Liu Qing, which overshadowed the yellow light despite its release. Something's off. This yellow light is peculiar. Xiao Yan, who had just closed in within 5 meters of the second eye, suddenly lifted his head as if sensing something unusual. The first eye, now bloodshot, clearly showed signs of fading vitality. However, the yellow pupil of the second eye brimmed with a violent and greedy aura, as though it sought to devour Xiao Yan's soul power. Nowhere to run. The yellow light surged, echoing a human-like voice, and instantly enveloped Xiao Yan. Damn it! Trapped within the yellow light, Xiao Yan felt a powerful and inexplicable force invading him, consuming both his dou qi and soul power. You wretched thing! Unable to endure any longer, Xiao Yan roared. The battle had already drained much of his energy, and if this continued, true death would not be far away. Fireheart heavenly rock. Ghost-faced soul flame. Come out. Encased entirely in the yellow light, Xiao Yan unleashed a mighty roar. Suddenly, a streak of cyan yellow flame erupted from his body, radiating with a purifying divine energy. You love devouring, don't you? Xiao Yan smirked. Let's see who devours whom today. With his words, the brilliant cyan yellow flames flared, unleashing an unstoppable sacred force. The yellow light, initially intent on consuming Xiao Yan, recoiled as though faced with its nemesis. It retreated hastily back to the second eye's yellow pupil. Now's our chance. As the yellow light dispersed, Xiao Yan reappeared before everyone's eyes. He immediately shouted to Liu Qing behind him. Light, purify. Liu Qing's voice, majestic and elegant, resonated like a disciple of light proclaiming dominion over darkness. As her voice fell, the milky white light surrounding her condensed into her jade-like hands. Slowly, a seed etched with sacred ripples formed, its radiance captivating everyone. What a formidable aura! Still, it's no match for my 3 sacred flames, Xiao Yan muttered, placing his hands on his chest, feeling the steady thrum of his heartbeat. Yet, as he gazed at the milky white seed, a surprising sense of calm settled over him, silencing even the faintest agitation within. A soft hymn echoed in his mind. Go forth. Cleanse the world of its vile wishes. As Liu Qing spoke, her once mighty strength of a perfect 3-star dou xian diminished to the level of an early 1-star dou xian. Holding the milky white seed in both hands, she released it gently. The seed seemed almost sentient, leaving Liu Qing's hands effortlessly. Floating elegantly through the boundless void, it glided toward the second eye's yellow pupil without emitting any turbulent energy. Were it not for Xiao Yan's awareness of its power, even he might have been deceived by its serenity. Buzz buzz. As the seed neared, the yellow pupil trembled violently, as if encountering a force it feared deeply. In the triangular space between the blood-red first eye and the yellow second eye, something began to stir, a protrusion forming as though another more terrifying force was emerging. The third eye? No, I can't let it activate the third eye. Xiao Yan's shout rang out as he surged forward, overtaking the milky white seed. A more potent soul attack erupted from him, striking the void where the third eye was forming. If the 3-eyed ghost pupil unleashed its third eye, everyone here would be doomed. Buzz buzz. Xiao Yan's strike forced the third eye to subside slowly into the void. The yellow liquid had just appeared when an extreme fluctuation suddenly filled the boundless space, as though it could easily wipe out everyone present. It's over, Liu Qing said, lifting her exquisite head and slowly watching as the milky white seed collided directly with the yellow liquid of the second eye. Boom, boom, boom. Brilliant milky white light instantly transformed into violent energy waves, creating deadly ripples that surged towards the yellow liquid, unleashing waves of terrifying battle energy. Impressive. Down below, Yu Yifeng and Lei Shi felt their dou qi burst out in an instant, protecting Liu Qing. Both of them stared up at the explosion of the second eye and the milky white seed in midair. This girl is indeed strong, Xiao Yan muttered, his gaze focused on the second eye. The once indomitable yellow pupils were now weakening, and even the space where the third eye had been seemed to flicker with instability. Whoosh! As the milky white seed made contact with the yellow liquid around the second eye's pupil, it suddenly exploded. Streams of milky white light surged out at a speed visible to the naked eye, instantly engulfing the yellow liquid protecting the second eye, then continuing toward the second eye itself. Without the protection of the mysterious yellow liquid, the once powerful second eye was forced to retreat under the assault of the milky white beams. I have a bad feeling about this. Let's leave now while we can, Xiao Yan shouted, immediately using dou qi to control the unconscious figures and hurriedly retreating from the space. Ha ha ha. The Hawkeye Squad is truly something, came a voice, slow and mocking, just as Xiao Yan and the others were preparing to retreat. Everyone looked up to see a figure dressed in black, slowly emerging from the highest point of the boundless space. That guy. Yu Yifeng and Lei Shi instantly became alert, clearly feeling a tremendous pressure from this individual. We need to leave. Xiao Yan's pupils suddenly constricted. For some reason, the pressure this figure exerted on him felt eerily similar to the aura of the three-eyed ghost pupil, and a wave of deep unease flooded him. Without hesitation, he quickly led the unconscious group toward the 9th level. Swish, swish. Since you've accepted my commission, it's only fair I eliminate any future trouble. You all should die now. With that, the figure in black let out a sinister laugh as he spoke, his face hidden beneath his cloak. Damn it! He's sealed the passage. Yu Yifeng cursed. Can we break it? Lei Shi asked. 3 minutes. Xiao Yan and Yu Yifeng's voices echoed slowly. Unfortunately, he won't give me that much time, Liu Qing said weakly, her eyes locked on the figure in black. The figure in black suddenly pulled out an unknown object from his cloak. In a flash, he appeared beneath the second eye, which was still barely holding on, and crushed the item with a single motion. The moment the object shattered, the wailing of wandering souls echoed throughout the boundless space. The next instant, they surged into the first and second eyes, causing the power of the second eye to slowly recover. Even more frightening, at the center of the two eyes' triangular alignment, a gray, peculiar pupil flickered into view. Although it was barely visible, the gray pupil exuded an unmistakable aura of death. That is, the third eye. Xiao Yan's expression grew serious. Clearly, if all 3 eyes of the three-eyed ghost pupil were fully manifested, even a 4-star Dou Xian would be forced to retreat, let alone them. The third eye, with its grayish hue, gave Xiao Yan an overwhelming sense of impending doom. One glance was enough to tell that it contained a mysterious power, as if it came straight from the depths of hell. Ha ha ha. Hawkeye Squad, thank you for accepting my commission. As a reward, I'll leave the three-eyed ghost pupil to you. Do you think I, a powerful being from the ghost realm, have time to play with you fools? Now, I won't keep you company any longer. Swish. The black-clad figure's voice slowly reverberated throughout the space as his silhouette began to fade, vanishing in the direction of the 8th level, where the imprisoned evil beings were held. At this moment, even the most naive among them would understand. This entire situation had been orchestrated by this individual. The false commission from a powerful being in the ghost realm had lured the Hawkeye Squad into Ice and Fire Island to rescue someone. Then, the black-clad figure had followed them, striking once they reached their destination, erasing everyone who knew the truth to prevent any future repercussions. This bastard! He played us. Yu Yifeng finally realized that his 2 trips into Ice and Fire Island had been nothing but a trap. What should we do now? Liu Qing asked, her voice weak, glaring at Xiao Yan. You all go ahead. Xiao Yan shook his head helplessly. Using his sharp soul power, he clearly noticed that the third eye in the gray pupil of the three-eyed ghost pupil was filled with waves of death energy. If they stayed here, there would be no chance of survival, and they would only become a burden to him. Moreover, the reason Xiao Yan stayed behind was also because of the three-eyed ghost pupil. Though the three-eyed ghost pupil was devastating for Xiao Yan at the moment, it was also an incredibly nourishing item. A bold idea slowly emerged in his mind. If he could defeat and refine the three-eyed ghost pupil, the immortal soul would be within his grasp. That won't do. Since we are a team, how could we leave our comrades behind and escape on our own? This is something Liu Qing, could never do. Liu Qing said, though frustrated. He showed no signs of backing down when he spoke to Xiao Yan in this way. The guy just now is likely the mastermind behind this plan. He's been following us, and the exit has already been destroyed by him. However, my soul power detected a hidden passage. There's no time. If you don't leave now, the exit will soon close. At that point, all of us will be trapped here and die, Xiao Yan said helplessly. The three-eyed ghost pupil is too strong, Lei Shi said. I'll hold it off. You all leave. I'll find a way to escape. See you at the Eastern Continent competition, Xiao Yan said, and with that, the dazzling earth-yellow sacred flame fluctuated, enveloping everyone. Without looking back, he shot towards a certain point in the boundless space. Bang! 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 The gray third eye, seeing that Liu Qing and the others were escaping, immediately shot a gray beam of light, like a death ray, aiming to pierce them. Crack! Just as the gray death ray was about to strike, Xiao Yan cut it off with his palm. Whoosh! The place where the attack struck was the spot where the man in black had entered the 8th level. At this moment, the man in black had left, and the gap was quickly being repaired. However, after being struck by the sacred flame's powerful attack, the boundless space cracked open a small fissure, and Liu Qing and the others were completely sent out by Xiao Yan. Now, it's just you and me, Xiao Yan said, watching as the Hawkeye Squad and the man in black vanished. In this boundless space, only Xiao Yan remained. He showed no fear. Instead, a mocking smile appeared on his lips. The strength of the three-eyed ghost pupil in the late 3-star Do Xian stage was almost useless to Xiao Yan. After all, its greatest power was its soul force. As for soul power, Xiao Yan had 3 sacred flames inside him, as well as various other methods like the Battle Soul Devourer talisman. It was naturally not difficult for him to deal with it. More importantly, Xiao Yan had also grown quite eager to face the three-eyed ghost pupil. If he could devour it, the immortal soul would probably come easily. The man in black just now was likely from the Ghost King realm. I had already noticed someone following us. Looks like I miscalculated, the devourer of souls said helplessly. You're right. The three-eyed ghost pupil is indeed a great supplement for soul power. But in order to devour it, the first step is to defeat it, the devourer of souls said, speaking softly. Cluck, cluck, cluck. Just as Xiao Yan and the devourer of souls were talking, the three-eyed ghost pupil fully manifested. 3 eyes, 1 deep blue, 1 yellow, and 1 gray. The 3 eyes formed a triangle, but what Xiao Yan feared most was still that gray third eye. It felt as though a glance from that gray eye could completely erase Xiao Yan from existence. Whoosh! Come out! Xiao Yan muttered, shaking his head slightly. He did not dare to underestimate the third eye, and gently placed his palm over his chest. The next moment, 3 flames of different colors slowly appeared in the boundless space. The 35th ranked Earth Yellow Fireheart, Heavenly Rock. The 24th ranked Eerie Blue Ghost Face Soul Flame. And the 22nd ranked Azure Blue Ethereal Ice Flame. 3 sacred flames emerged slowly, and immediately, the entire space fell silent. Even the gray pupil couldn't help but show a trace of heaviness. Clearly, facing the power of these 3 sacred flames, even the three-eyed ghost pupil was somewhat inferior. Humph! Three-eyed ghost pupil, let's see whether your soul attack can erase me first, or if my 3 sacred flames will refine you completely. 3 flames united, extermination of ghosts and gods. Ethereal tear. Xiao Yan's voice was like that of a supreme monarch. As soon as his words fell, the 3 sacred flames began to spin rapidly around him. Gulu gulu. At this moment, The three-eyed ghost pupil seemed to realize that this little creature was not so simple. Deep blue liquid, yellow liquid, and gray liquid, 3 different fluids, immediately began flowing out from its 3 pupils. Then, under Xiao Yan's gaze, they slowly merged together. Finally willing to use your killing move? Then let's settle this with a single strike. Xiao Yan smiled as he watched. No matter how powerful the three-eyed ghost pupil might be, under the combined strength of his 3 saints fusion, it would likely be no match for him. At this point, both Xiao Yan and the three-eyed ghost pupil were gathering their formidable attacks. Fireheart Heavenly Rock has always possessed extremely strong defense, and Ghost-Faced Soul Flame is a bane to souls. Moreover, the sacred aura of the ethereal ice flame suppresses the soul. The three-eyed ghost pupil has been arrogant for so many years, but now it's time for it to rest. The Devourer of Souls slowly smiled as he observed the fierce attacks brewing from both Xiao Yan and the three-eyed ghost pupil. Whoosh! The dazzling 3 types of sacred flames, under Xiao Yan's command of the flame mantra, merged smoothly without much resistance. Soon, a droplet of silver liquid, as small as a tear, slowly appeared before Xiao Yan. This space tear was undoubtedly far more powerful than when Xiao Yan first used the sacred flame fusion in the mystic 3 heavens. After all, when Xiao Yan first used the sacred flame fusion in the mystic 3 heavens, the 3 sacred flames were reluctant to merge, and it was quite a challenge. Back then, Xiao Yan was still weak, and his power was nothing like it was now. Gulu Gulu. The deep blue, yellow, and gray liquids gradually merged, and within the 3-colored liquid, a terrifying soul power strong enough to annihilate an immortal soul suddenly surged. Ing. I'll resurrect you soon, Xiao Yan murmured, gazing at the ethereal tear in his palm. A delicate figure slowly surfaced in his mind, with every smile and frown stirring the whirlpool of Xiao Yan's heart. A tear fell involuntarily. Three-eyed ghost pupil, die. Without hesitation, Xiao Yan shouted, and the ethereal tear in his hand immediately took shape. With a forceful motion, he hurled it forward. Boom! The ethereal tear, resembling a small, crystal-like tear of silver antimony, slowly sped toward the three-eyed ghost pupil. However, as the space tear, fused with the 3 sacred flames, passed through, it triggered violent explosions in the void, as if the surrounding space couldn't withstand the tear's overwhelming power. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Faced with the incoming ethereal tear, the three-eyed ghost pupil responded like a great enemy. Its 3 pupils glowed with intense energy, and the 3-colored liquid was immediately activated, crashing into the ethereal tear head-on. Boom, boom, boom. The moment the 3-colored liquid collided with the 3-colored sacred flame ethereal tear, a terrifying firestorm engulfed the entire void. The soul fluctuations from the 3-colored liquid visibly weakened at an astonishing rate. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The three-eyed ghost pupil seemed to notice this and, with a swift movement, its 3 pupils shot out waves of differently colored powers, directly infusing them into the 3-colored liquid, trying to resist the ethereal tear's attack. They knew that if they failed, the outcome would not be good for them. Once the ethereal tear is out, it's bound to be the end. Explode. As he saw the three-eyed ghost pupil losing ground, Xiao Yan showed no hesitation. He immediately triggered the full explosion of the ethereal tear. Xiao Yan, using the ethereal tear, was naturally also activating the flame mantra, consuming an immense amount of do qi that ordinary people couldn't imagine. Therefore, he couldn't afford to drag things out with the three-eyed ghost pupil. Boom, boom, boom. With the intense power of the flame mantra charging it, the ethereal tear, like a tear of crystal-clear silver antimony, instantly transformed into a volcano-like burst, unleashing an indescribable holy flame that surged directly toward the three-eyed ghost pupil. As the ethereal tear erupted completely, the void space immediately turned into a fiery world, with flames roaring everywhere and streams of magma following in its wake. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Realizing it could not defeat this human, the three-eyed ghost pupil's 3 pupils suddenly closed. It fled rapidly toward the outside, as though it had been seriously wounded. Humph. Now you choose to run. It's too late. Ethereal tear. Refine it for me. Seeing the three-eyed ghost pupil attempting to escape without resistance, Xiao Yan didn't give it any chance. He directly controlled the remaining ethereal tier to chase after it. Plop. Clearly, after activating the flame mantra to fuse the three sacred flames, launching the attack, and even triggering the final explosion of the ethereal tier, Xiao Yan had nearly exhausted 90% of his Docian power. The fusion of these three sacred flames is indeed powerful, but for me now, I fear it only has the strength for one strike. Xiao Yan gasped heavily, trying to absorb the spiritual energy from the world using the flame mantra to recover his Docian power. However, to his surprise, there was not a trace of spiritual energy in the boundless void, causing him to furrow his brow. Forget it. This place is too dangerous. I should recover my strength first. Xiao Yan shook his head and then directly turned his storage ring, taking out a round, fiery red pill. The Immortal Spirit Pill. It was enough to restore about 80% of Do Qi for warriors below the 3-star Do Xian level within a short period of time. Though only one pill could be taken per month to avoid building up a resistance and losing its effect, this limitation in no way detracted from its value. This was definitely an essential item for any journey. Just one pill. Looks like I'll have to find some more to replenish my Do Qi, Xiao Yan muttered before he swallowed the Immortal Spirit Pill without hesitation. Glug, glug. Interestingly, as soon as the Immortal Spirit Pill was consumed, it transformed into an incredibly powerful and pure energy, rushing toward Xiao Yan's exhausted battle core and then circulating throughout his limbs and bones. This is really good stuff. In just the span of a breath, Xiao Yan realized that the Do Qi, which had been on the verge of running out, had already recovered by nearly 70%. Even though it didn't reach the rumored 80%, just this 70% was enough to astonish Xiao Yan. Imagine, when your energy is nearly spent, swallowing a single pill to instantly restore 70% of your Do Qi. Escaping would no longer be a problem. As for the fact that only 70% was restored instead of 80%, it was likely related to the flame mantra or some other factor within Xiao Yan's body. Wong, wong, wong. Just as Xiao Yan felt overjoyed, the three-eyed ghost pupil in midair was already on the brink of death, its form flickering as it could dissipate at any moment. Even the grayish pupil radiated a sense of helplessness. Clearly, even the strongest of the three eyes never anticipated that the human it sought to devour would possess three sacred flames. The power of the sacred flames had a tremendous allure and enhancement for fire-type warriors, and when three sacred flames were gathered in one person, the increase in power could only be described as monstrous. Now, it's time to reap the rewards. I hope it doesn't disappoint. Xiao Yan's deep-colored pupils burned with intensity as he gazed at the weakening three-eyed ghost pupil. The three-eyed ghost pupil was an excellent source of soul power, and now Xiao Yan was just one step away from immortal soul level. Whether he could succeed would depend on this moment. It seemed the dying three-eyed ghost pupil had sensed Xiao Yan's malicious grin. With a sudden burst of energy, the three pupils released their final bit of power, trying to buy time for its escape. However, the void around them was now filled with sacred flame power, and no matter how hard the three-eyed ghost pupil struggled, its fate was sealed. Refine it. Xiao Yan, without hesitation, sat down cross-legged and closed his eyes. A vast wave of soul power, enveloped in sacred flame, surged toward the three-eyed ghost pupil for refinement. The combined forces of the soul power and sacred flames would ensure that, no matter how powerful the three-eyed ghost pupil was, it could not escape its demise. After being attacked by Xiao Yan's ethereal tear, the three-eyed ghost pupil had already been severely weakened. But in order to devour it, Xiao Yan had to use sacred flame power to refine the three pupils into pure soul essence. Otherwise, if he tried to devour the three-eyed ghost pupil directly, not only Xiao Yan, but even the devourer of souls would have exploded instantly. Start with the easy one. Xiao Yan wasn't in a rush. Victory was in his grasp, it was just a matter of time. As soon as the words left his mouth, the brilliant soul power and sacred flame energy enveloped the first deep blue pupil, beginning the slow process of refinement. Strangely, as soon as the soul power and sacred flame energy surrounded the first deep blue pupil, It began to dissolve rapidly, almost transforming into a faint trace of soul essence. This guy has certainly grown a lot. Devourer of Souls couldn't help but let a rare smile show as he watched Xiao Yan. Initially, he thought the formidable three-eyed ghost pupil would require his intervention, but Xiao Yan had managed to handle it on his own. Though he had to tap into the 3 sacred flames within him, it was enough to impress even the discerning Devourer of Souls. Forget it. This kid's growth rate is beyond my expectations. Once he absorbs the three-eyed ghost pupil and advances to the immortal soul level, it'll be time to check on my subordinates. Ice and Fire Island's first 3 layers. Yet, I feel there's something unsavory going on between Light Demon and Master of Ferocious Souls. The sacred flame in Ferocious Soul's hands seems tied to Light Demon somehow. This may be more complicated than it appears. Devourer of Souls muttered to himself quietly in his storage ring. SSSHHH. The power of the 3 sacred flames far exceeded Xiao Yan's expectations. The first eye of the three-eyed ghost pupil was fully refined in just 15 minutes. Xiao Yan couldn't help but smile as he looked at the pure soul essence, now gleaming a crystalline silver in his hands. This soul essence was far stronger than anything he'd ever absorbed, though it wasn't enough to break through to the immortal soul level. But this was only the first eye. 2 more remained. Combining the power of the three-eyed ghost pupil could make his advancement to the immortal realm a natural step forward. On to the second eye. It's best to wait until all 3 are refined before attempting full absorption, Xiao Yan muttered to himself, focusing on the second eye. The second eye, sensing the fate of the first, trembled with fear and tried to escape, but it was soon surrounded by Xiao Yan's sacred flame and began to submit. Though the three-eyed ghost pupil once stood unchallenged, under the crushing force of Xiao Yan's sacred flame, it had become nothing more than prey. Outside Ice and Fire Island, in the Sand Mist Village altar, thud. A group of people tumbled out, and as they began to regain consciousness, they opened their eyes slowly. What happened? Yu Xiaoya, first to awaken, looked around at the severe expressions of Yu Yifeng, Lei Shi, and the visibly weakened Liu Qing, and asked in alarm. Her observation quickly revealed Xiao Yan's absence. She also noticed that both Yu Yifeng's and Lei Shi's Do Qi was erratic, and Liu Qing was on the verge of collapse. Instinct told her something had gone terribly wrong. Captain Yu, I need to go in there and save him. Lei Shi's bloodshot eyes locked on Yu Yifeng. Damn it. We've suffered heavy losses. Let's return for now, and take them to the eastern continent. Yu Yifeng's eyes showed a glint of pain as he shook his head. Even as strong as he was, Yu Yifeng couldn't match Xiao Yan's calmness in the face of life and death, let alone Xiao Yan's last words, "You all go ahead." Captain, the three-eyed ghost pupil is overwhelmingly strong. Xiao Yan will die. I, Lei Shi, may not be a hero, but I won't abandon a comrade. Lei Shi said firmly, word by word. I know. Earth Monkey, Shuiyu, you two, come with me to save Xiao Yan. Lei Shi, stay here to protect Liu Qing and Xiaoya. Move. Yu Yifeng, with a reluctant sigh, issued the command. No way. But before Lei Shi could speak, Yu Yifeng and the other 2 surged toward the altar, the former entrance to Ice and Fire Island. Whoosh. However, to their surprise, as they reached the central passage, a powerful repulsive force threw them back. Bang, bang, bang. All 3 fell back, and Yu Yifeng spat out a mouthful of blood, revealing the severe injuries from his earlier encounter with the three-eyed ghost pupil. Captain, Uncle. Panicked voices followed, and Yu Xiaoya and Lei Shi rushed over to him. The entrance to Ice and Fire Island is no longer here. We can't get in. Yu Yifeng sat up, wiped the blood from his mouth, and spoke weakly. But Xiao Yan. Lei Shi clenched his fists tightly. Xiao Yan has a good relationship with the Qing family of Ghost King City. Send someone to reach out. Also, gather the family's strongest to monitor the periphery of Ice and Fire Island. Any sign of movement, report immediately, and make sure the family is aware of this. If Xiao Yan makes it out alive, he'll be a lifelong friend of the Yu family. Yes, Captain. Lei Shi and the others nodded slightly in response. There was nothing else to be done at this point. There are still 2 years before the Eastern Continent competition. Let's head to the Eastern Continent, Liu Qing said, still unwilling to give up as he cast a glance at Ice and Fire Island. Without further hesitation, he led everyone directly toward the Eastern Continent. As for the little villainous girl from the 10th level, Green Een, she had just come out and quietly left. Whoosh whoosh. The three-eyed ghost pupil truly lives up to its name. Refining the three-eyed ghost pupil took me a full month. Now, it's time to reap the rewards. Xiao Yan murmured softly, then suddenly opened his eyes wide. His aura surged drastically, reaching the peak of the early 1-star Docian. He stared intently at the energy orb in his palm, which was the size of a fist. This energy orb was the purest soul essence refined from the three-eyed ghost pupil. Whether he could advance to the immortal soul realm depended on it. Your aura is still unstable. You should break through first before devouring it. That way, your chances will be higher. Xiao Yan's gaze fixed on the dazzling soul essence in his hand as the devourer of souls appeared beside him and spoke. Huh! Xiao Yan exclaimed, startled when he saw the devourer of souls manifest. Mid 1-star Docian, the devourer of souls chuckled. As expected, Xiao Yan realized as the devourer of souls pointed it out. He had already reached the peak of early 1-star Docian back in Ghost King City. After fighting with the three-eyed ghost pupil, an opportunity to advance to mid 1-star Docian had appeared. Good, Xiao Yan grinned, then casually set the shimmering soul essence aside and quietly sat down. Whoosh! At this moment, the flame mantra inside Xiao Yan's body began to rotate rapidly. Even the round battle core inside him was spinning quickly. Subtle, barely visible fluctuations were generated between the two, as if there was some hidden secret between them. Could this round battle core have something to do with the flame mantra? Xiao Yan thought as he adjusted his breathing, sensing a mysterious connection between the two. Your strength has already reached mid 1-star Docian. You only need to break through the barrier. Don't get distracted. Focus your mind, guide your breath, and activate your technique, the devourer of souls coldly instructed. Whoosh! Xiao Yan, hearing this, stopped thinking about other matters and closed his eyes, fully concentrating on his breakthrough. Thud! A few minutes later, a strange sound echoed from within Xiao Yan's body, like tearing through a thin layer of paper. Then, a clear and refreshing laugh slowly emanated from Xiao Yan's body. Mid 1-star Docian, Xiao Yan slowly opened his eyes. A much stronger power spread across his palm. If Xiao Yan's strength at the peak of early 1-star Docian had been enough to fight against other late 1-star Docian or perfected ones of the same level, then now, with his strength at mid 1-star Docian, it was no exaggeration to say that he was nearly invincible among 1-star Docians of the same rank. Even without using Sacred Flame, the gap between early and mid 1-star Docian was immense. Not bad, not bad. With mid 1-star Docian strength, and after devouring such pure soul essence, there's a good chance of advancing to the immortal soul realm. With the addition of the battle soul and body tempering techniques, there will be no problem winning the Eastern Continent competition and 4-continent competition. Just thinking about how my disciple can win in the same continent under the ferocious soul master. He. The devourer of souls chuckled with ill intentions. As the strongest being of the ferocious soul domain, the devourer of souls had a rivalry with the ferocious soul master of the ferocious soul domain. In fact, the fall of the devourer of souls had been related to the ferocious soul master, which had fueled his desire to compete. Next, it's time to devour the soul essence. Xiao Yan ignored the devourer of souls and slowly waved his hand. Immediately, the shimmering soul essence appeared in front of him. Shush! As soon as the soul essence appeared, Xiao Yan felt the soul power he had previously consumed was rapidly replenishing. This enormous soul essence truly lives up to its reputation as a soul supplement, coming from the three-eyed ghost pupil, Xiao Yan said with a smile as he gently grasped the shimmering soul essence. Although the three-eyed ghost pupil possessed the strength of a human late 3-star Docian, it was not particularly useful. The three-eyed ghost pupil ignored all physical defenses but could not perform physical attacks. Its true strength was based on the soul power it used to launch soul attacks. The strength of the three-eyed ghost pupil was determined by the quality of its soul power. This creature, with the power comparable to a human late 3-star Do Xian, likely means that the immortal soul realm is not something newly entered. The immortal soul realm is divided into the realms of void, essence transformation, and spirit wandering. Each of these realms is further divided into early, middle, and late stages. The four-tiered heavenly, earth, and mystery pills correspond to the early, middle, and late stages of the immortal soul realm's void. As it goes, Xiao Yan muttered inwardly. Spirit wandering, huh? Murmured the devourer of souls, growing silent. Senior, this spirit wandering, Xiao Yan began, clearly intrigued by the devourer of soul's strength. The combined might of the three domains of the ghost realm is no weaker than the central region of the ghost realm, perhaps just lacking in high-level powerhouses. Beneath the three domains, each domain spans a vast 1,000 continents. Among these 1,000 continents, the three domains receive a steady influx of elite talents. Soul Heaven, a conglomeration of 4 continents, ranks among the top 100 within the ferocious soul domain's 1,000 continents, enough to capture the attention of the domain's leadership. All right, kid, the devourer of souls said. The soul power at the spirit wandering level in the immortal realm isn't child's play. Do you think it's so easily attained? His voice carried an eager expectation. It's the absolute pinnacle below the divine realm in terms of soul power. All right, go ahead and devour it, the devourer of souls muttered, rolling his eyes. Xiao Yan nodded, opting not to press further. It seemed that the devourer of soul's own power had not yet reached the spirit-wandering realm, though it was likely close. Huff. Let's go. Fully prepared, Xiao Yan took a deep breath before drawing the brilliant soul essence into his soul sea. Whoosh. As soon as the radiant soul essence entered Xiao Yan's soul sea, it set off a fierce storm. Boom, boom, boom. Inside his soul sea, apart from the newly entered soul essence, there was nothing but his soul stone, imbued with the power of his soul at the grand perfection of the heavenly grade in the Emperor realm. The soul stone, entirely silver, shivered ever so slightly as it faced the soul essence. What are you afraid of? You'll be merging eventually, Xiao Yan said, exasperated. The soul stone held power at the grand perfection of the heavenly grade, just a step away from immortal realm. Meanwhile, the soul essence in his soul sea was the key to advancing. Next up, forming the spirit palace. As the two soul forces settled, Xiao Yan closed his eyes, gently guiding the soul power from the soul stone to forge a grand palace within his soul sea. The spirit palace. This palace marked the threshold of the immortal soul and served as a vessel for his power. With the spirit palace, soul power would undergo a profound transformation. In battle, one could summon the spirit palace to imprison an opponent's soul power, tipping the scale in one's favor. Many mysteries still lay hidden within, for only a select few in the great 1,000 worlds have reached this level. Advancing to the immortal soul realm requires first crafting an outline of the spirit palace, harnessing the power of the soul essence to truly take that step. The spirit palace itself is the ultimate expression of materialized soul power. Thud. Xiao Yan's first attempt at crafting the spirit palace ended in failure. The balance of soul power isn't right again, observed the devourer of souls, watching intently. Unfazed, Xiao Yan tried again. With the devourer of souls as a guide, creating the spirit palace was merely a matter of time. Failed again. Once more. The distribution of soul power here isn't balanced. Again. In the boundless space, Xiao Yan failed time and again, relentlessly refining the spirit palace within his soul sea. Building the spirit palace was more than just tracing an outline with soul power. The difficulty far surpassed his expectations. Initially, Xiao Yan thought his power at the grand perfection of the Emperor realm would make this easy. Yet the repeated failures left him with a sense of frustration. Constructing the spirit palace is indeed challenging. But once it's formed, ascending to the immortal realm will naturally follow. However, if you don't reach the immortal soul realm, your power could even regress. But this spirit palace will be a tremendous advantage for you right now. Once you fully step into the immortal realm, you'll be able to materialize your soul power, summoning the Spirit Palace in combat to imprison an enemy's soul power. It will become your ultimate ace, the Devourer of Souls remarked with a grin. Xiao Yan nodded. This time, his attempt to outline the Spirit Palace did not immediately end in failure. Stay focused. Concentrate. Channel the soul power, the Devourer of Souls urged, unable to hide his excitement. Xiao Yan was truly a genius. When he had first attempted to forge his Spirit Palace, he had failed thousands of times before succeeding. Damn it! Xiao Yan couldn't help but curse. After experiencing dozens of failures, he vaguely found a way to sketch it out. However, this sketching process consumed an enormous amount of Xiao Yan's soul power. After barely outlining one layer of the Spirit Palace, nearly 90% of his soul power from the grand perfection of heavenly grade of the Emperor realm was drained. Such terrifying consumption of soul power made Xiao Yan's expression change dramatically. Devour the soul's origin. Just when Xiao Yan was at a loss, the voice of the Devourer of Souls echoed in his mind. Okay. Xiao Yan didn't dare hesitate, activating the brilliant suction force. He immediately began to madly absorb the soul power from the three-eyed ghost pupil's crystalline silver antimony within his soul sea. Whoosh! The absorption of soul power sounded like flowing water, sharp and grating. However, within the vast soul sea, a mysterious pattern began to appear. What Xiao Yan saw before him was the enormous palace he had just outlined using nearly 90% of his soul power from the soul stone. The Spirit Palace. At first, Xiao Yan didn't know what the Spirit Palace truly was, but after seeing it gradually solidifying, he was relieved. It turned out that the so-called Spirit Palace was indeed a magnificent palace, with a crystalline silver antimony appearance on the outside. Inside, countless mysterious and intricate runes were carved, and it was evidently designed to store soul power. Through his perception, Xiao Yan realized that the Spirit Palace was vast, and it seemed capable of imprisoning others. Just imagine, in a battle, if one wasn't careful, one could imprison the enemy using the Spirit Palace, preventing them from using any soul power. With only Do Qi to rely on, it would be a one-sided massacre for Xiao Yan. However, there was one drawback. This Spirit Palace could only imprison individuals. If it could handle groups of enemies, its value would be immeasurably greater. What are you thinking? The Devourer of Souls, sensing Xiao Yan's intentions, chuckled and scolded him. If the Spirit Palace could imprison groups of enemies, then what would the battle array master be for? The principle of the Spirit Palace is quite similar to that of the battle array master, but they each have their strengths and weaknesses. Don't slack off now. After absorbing such a brilliant soul's origin, you can't relax. Outline the entire Spirit Palace completely. The Devourer of Souls urged again. Okay. Xiao Yan nodded secretly and, using the soul origin he had just devoured, carefully resumed his task of outlining the Spirit Palace within his soul sea. But neither the Devourer of Souls nor Xiao Yan noticed that at this moment, the protective circle, placed around Xiao Yan's forehead along with the Xiao clan's clan mark, was greedily absorbing the soul power from Xiao Yan's soul sea. The absorption was minimal and discreet, so neither of them detected it. 1 stroke. 2 strokes. Xiao Yan painstakingly controlled his soul power, continuing to sketch the Spirit Palace. With every stroke, it seemed the soul power within him grew stronger. Boom! In the next moment, the soul stone, which stored all of Xiao Yan's soul power, could no longer withstand the intense fluctuations and exploded. 2 streams of soul power immediately poured into Xiao Yan's soul sea, merging violently. How strong! This isn't good. It's about to explode. Xiao Yan, who had already outlined 3 layers of the Spirit Palace using the soul origin from the three-eyed ghost pupil, didn't expect the soul stone to suddenly shatter. The 2 streams of soul power clashed in his soul sea like enemies meeting, unwilling to back down, and were on the verge of breaking out. Don't be afraid. There's no need to fuse them. Since you've already outlined 3 layers of the Spirit Palace, just pour the 2 streams of soul power into it directly, the Devourer of Souls said calmly. Let's go for broke. Xiao Yan, relieved, disregarded everything else. His gaze turned deep as the two incompatible soul powers were merged into the semi-completed spirit palace within his soul sea. As Xiao Yan outlined, a massive palace that nearly covered the entire soul sea suddenly appeared, and when counted, it had a total of 9 layers. Boom! Thunderous sounds reverberated across Ice and Fire Island, even sending a trace of fear into the depths of one's soul. Ha ha ha. Looking at the fluctuations in soul power, it's clear that only the immortal realm can produce such a result. It seems the Hawkeye Squad has met their end. Hun, let's go. Before, Soul Morning had used tens of thousands of soul bodies to summon the third eye of the three-eyed ghost Pupil, breaking through the 8th level guardian space. He arrived here and rescued Hun. The fluctuation is too intense. I'm afraid it has caught the attention of the top 3 powerhouses from the first 3 layers of Ice and Fire Island. Upon hearing this, the ghost soul's face changed dramatically. Then, the dark, ghostly energy surged, swiftly tearing open a crack in front of the two of them. They dashed through it and disappeared. Has this guy's presence been noticed by the two from the first and second layers? In the third layer's mysterious cavern, a massive creature, sensing the disturbance, sighed helplessly. Looks like something interesting has arrived on our Ice and Fire Island. In the second layer, which was entirely shrouded in darkness, as if one couldn't see their hand in front of their face, the aura felt demonic. A mocking voice slowly emerged. Immortal soul power, huh? It seems it was from that three-eyed ghost Pupil guy. But why does this energy have a scent like my master's?